Hey everyone, I'm Dan from JazzComposersPresent.com, an online space where composers, musicians, and listeners come together to celebrate the music we love. I'm joined today by Jeremy Siskind, best-selling author of the Jazz Piano Fundamentals series and a top pianist in the LA area. Jeremy is here to discuss creative approaches to chamber ensemble orchestration.
Yeah, thank you for that introduction. So for years have run a trio, a piano, voice, and woodwinds trio called the Housewarming Project. We've put out about 3 albums, including a double album called Songs of Rebirth. And I just love figuring out the different configurations, even just within that 3-part group, of how we can make that chamber group come alive. And I want to share 3 lessons with you. The first one I actually learned from my mentor, the great Fred Hirsch. We were doing a workshop. It was a duos and trios workshop. And he and some other faculty members, they would pull names out of a hat. And so it could be any instrument. And so I remember getting paired with maybe a saxophonist or a trumpet player. And so, we started dividing roles. So I'll take the bass, you take the chords, I'll take the melody. And Fred stopped us and he said, no, you never think about what's missing from an ensemble. You always think about what possibilities that ensemble gives you. And that was a huge lesson. So you don't always need to have a bass line. You don't always need to have chords. And sometimes you don't even need to have a melody. So I want to show you just a little snippet of a piece of mine called Theme for a Sunrise off of the album Finger Songwriter. And we start with just voice and clarinet together.
I heard the waters dash, I saw the current whirl and flash. I felt the forest shade that glistened in a white cascade. I heard the wild horn whose merry voice the woodland fills. I heard the village bell that echoed sweetly in the hills. I listened to the shout that faint and far that glen sent out. I felt the wooded height, I saw the valley bathed in light. See how the sun comes up, see how she comes, see how the sun returns, see how she comes, singing and bright.
So the hope is that once that piano comes in and gives the harmonic context, it's all the more exciting because you've been missing the chords, you've been missing that low register once it enters. The second lesson I want to impart to you is that piano is the most flexible instrument. Okay, I'm biased. I'm a pianist. I've got Thelonious Monk behind me over here. But, piano, it can give you single line melodies played beautifully. Chopin proved that. It can give you big chords. Of course, it can be a bass player when the bass is missing. And whenever we teach piano lessons, especially maybe from a classical standpoint, we ask our students to imagine this instrument as imitating another. It can be an orchestra. It can be a clarinet. It can be a voice. So in this next arrangement, I decided to treat the piano more as almost another voice or woodwind instrument instead of being the instrument that always covers the harmonic ground. I put it in between the voice and the clarinet to form this kind of Copland-esque trio. So I hope this shows you something else that you could do with the piano.
Take a breath, close your eyes, take my hand, hold it tight, take the time to free your mind and dream. Dream of love in bloom like lilac trees. Dream of love, of reawakening.
And it's no accident there that I put the piano in the middle because it stands out more, of course, if it's the melody or if it's on bottom. So I'm kind of trying to hide the fact that we're not blowing through this instrument like those other 2 instruments that move air. That's a song called We Will Not Go Back to Normal off of an album called Songs of Rebirth. And I want to share another track from Songs of Rebirth and teach my third lesson, which is that although the jazz piano tradition starts, around the turn of 1900, the turn of the century, the piano tradition extends so much further back from there, as well as forward. And we have these writers for the piano who are incredible arrangers. People like Chopin, Debussy, Ravel, and Messiaen are the first that come to mind. But of course, there's other icons like Schubert, Schumann, Bach, Beethoven. And so I really recommend looking into the classical tradition in terms of determining how to write for the piano. One game I play with my students is we open a book, a piano music book, like maybe a book of Debussy preludes, and we imitate whatever texture is there using some kind of a jazz harmony. And that's kind of what I did in this next piece, which is called Lethe.
And give me life.
So that hand over hand arpeggio is much more Debussy and Ravel than Bill Evans or Thelonious Monk, as much as I love those folks as well. So what I hope you take away is that these ensembles, even these small ensembles, they can be so much more than what meets the eye. So if you can let go of your preconceptions that you need bass, you need chords, you need these defined roles, then you can kind of stretch these ensembles beyond the creative limits that you might have in mind. So enjoy writing for those small groups.
Thanks for watching today's mini lesson. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos down below. To watch our full-length events and participate in live Q&As with our presenting artists, head to jazzcomposerspresent.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.